All right, guys. Let's go through the list and some of the thoughts on the market. So obviously we have a pretty the gap down is getting bigger and bigger by the minute. When I was typing my commentary, it was like a lot much smaller, but looks like a pretty decent gap down. Nothing like, crazy, but we are opening near yesterday's lows. So basically the whole move that we made yesterday is kind of getting taken out. Um, Honestly, this was obviously, kind of expected. This is what we were talking about yesterday because we were coming into the EMA cluster. So it was, kind of obvious we'd at least see a rejection. Now, whether this rejection leads to new lows is obviously, something that, yeah. Whether it leads to new lows is something that still remains to be seen. But I personally think we might get a retest of the undercut level. So look at how on the hourly, we have this big level of support right here. We undercut and then we rallied off of it. And now it looks like we could potentially set up to retest. And this is where I would get long, right? So between yesterday's highs and today's open, I think the risk reward is to the downside still, but it's not as good as it would have been, let's say, as if we like gapped up, right? That would have been much better to take like an uppercut and then play it down to lows. So I wouldn't necessarily rush to get short anything in the morning. If we start losing yesterday's low, and then, we could push down to this spot. But personally, I think this is where you want to probably buy, not like today right in the morning. I would wait for us to come down a little bit lower. QQQ, it kind of has the same exact look, right? We have this same level right here, the undercut level. I think we can maybe pull in a little bit into this spot. Now keep in mind, guys, notice what's the weakest in the morning right now. It's not actually the S&P or the Nas, it's actually the Dow, which usually doesn't happen, right? The Dow is usually very strong while the Nasdaq is weak. But today the Dow is leading the downside. So what does that mean? Well, look at your industrial stocks, look at banks, right? This is why I'm short MasterCard. I think this is going to print today. If you look at like Visa had a nasty rejection yesterday, look at XLF banks, they're rejecting the AEMA. This is probably where I think the most downside could be. So definitely look at some of the bank stocks. For the downside, that looks like where the most downside is. And then some ideas that I'm looking at. If we do get that retest of the undercut level, I like AHR for the long side if it can undercut these lows off the AEMA. Intel, if it can retest the undercut level right here as well, I think that's a nice long. LLY on the short side. If it starts to break down here, guys, under the 21, this thing's gonna like crater. So this is a nice short. And then we're also watching AVGO like right off the rip. It's gapping up on earnings, and what we're looking for is kind of like something like Palantir, where it gapped up on earnings here, and then it basically just like sold right off the moving averages. So me and Steven are watching that for sure. Yeah, ideally we'd probably have to buy it on like a 1 minute orb, maybe. Yeah, so we'll be watching that. Okay, yeah, I did see that. Yeah, if we roll over, especially, this thing's gonna get crushed. So yeah, we're watching that. And then a few other long ideas. If we do get the retest of the undercut, I like MP on an undercut of the EMAs. Goldman Sachs is also a top short. The only thing is I would want it to kind of rally into the EMA. So I'm not sure if this will happen today, but we'll, leave it on our list. I also really want to get short the memory stock still. I think yesterday was a great opportunity because it came like right off the moving averages. Like we had a textbook this was, 8 EMA rejection and then big move lower on STX. Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye on this sector to see if there's anything there. Someone said PL for an undercut. It can work, but it's a little bit choppy. It's not really making any big moves like it was here, for example. It's kind of just chopping. For example, like AHR, the reason why I like this for an undercut is like you could see it's trying to push. I wouldn't short CCJ. I would short banks. Like, look at this. Much more shortable. Happened with MA, that massive spike up last second. What are you talking about? Like the close? It's just a close. Let's just close the closing action. It's like the open. Oh yeah. Also, guys, look at the VIX. The VIX is bouncing right off the EMA. Yeah, keep that in mind on buying cons. One DTs. Fuck it. I mean, if you're buying puts and things go lower, then the VIX will go higher. What do you mean? Yeah, it has to open like right at the 50. I don't know why, dude. I feel like we should have really gotten into like GS yesterday. I feel like it's kind of a massive down day today. What do I think about WDC shorts? I think yesterday was the day. Cause like there's no really good risk reward right now. It's turning a little bit here. Let's see what it does off the 2-minute orb. Holy shit, dollar general cratered. Yeah. XLF was ripping. The S&P is trying to kind of push, off the gap. It's a nice 2-minute orb. 2-minute orb breakdown. Dude, what's been up with my trading view alerts? How did I not get alerted on LLI? What? LLI? You said LLI? I want it off the 8. I want it off the 8. Also, SPY is not really pushing lower here. Kind of just consolidating. Industrials are really weak, but banks are super strong today. There's also some call flow in that GLW. Yeah, SMCI looks solid. You probably want to buy it off like the moving averages though. It's a lot of call flow on it. Yeah, and this just rejected the gap. I honestly wouldn't be surprised if we just go inside day today, guys. Reddit bottoming sequence. It's a little too early to tell for me, but yeah, the volume patterns don't really support that yet. A little bit of a reject here on SPY. Yep. I mean, if any time um would be to buy it would be now. TTD. Yeah, I wish this LY was like right at the 8. I would have taken this. And VTS is a buy. It could be, but like it's also not like undercutting anything. Just depends if you want in on the name. Yeah, we were talking about PL earlier this morning. Like this is an okay undercut, but it's not my favorite. It's not really doing much for me. Yeah, bro, I'm trading right now, but I'll look at IG later. The SPY daily candle is looking a bit ugly here with the moving averages converging on it on the daily. Yeah, it's nice. I wish it was at like the weekly 8. It's nice. Someone bought calls on it too. Oh yeah, JPM does have an uppercut. This is nice. And XLF is. Dude, I would take that actually. I might take that. I'm looking at cons. Dude, how am I break even on this MA trade? These MA cons are just terrible. The JPM ones are also kind of ass. $290s maybe. It's way too far though. Yep, I'm here. I didn't get anything. I'm just watching. I said I was looking at the 290s, but dude, the cons are pretty bad on this too. Yeah. I'm on OPEX. Yeah, 295s are actually not bad. Yeah, GS was the one, dude. It didn't come to the 8. It's so annoying. I think GS was the one though. You grab some 295s. All right, I just grabbed some with you. 295s for March 20 on this uppercut. All right, so yeah, I'm in JPM and MA guys now. Both bank stocks, like financial stocks, but check out XLF. We had the uppercut on that too, on the whole sector. So that kind of gives conviction. Yeah, we needed to flush 520. Yes, bro, I can hear you. Oh no. MP undercut? Oh yeah. Wow. That happened really quick. Wow. Dude, look at MP on the lower time frames. Yeah, I think MP I think MP and UAMY are above half the moving averages. Dude, these MA cons are so bad. How am I break even and the stock's down $4 from my entry? We bought the 295s on JPM puts. I do think though, guys, we might just go inside day. Like, look at the S&P. I don't think we're gonna break either today's high or low. Just feels like kind of an inside day is brewing. Dude, this MP, wow. Look at LOY off the retest of 1,000. AVGO ended up not really doing too much. I really like that MP play from Steven, but I was a bit late to it. You guys called that out nicely though. What point do you stop going to mid-March cons and go mid-April? If I feel like I need more time, probably the week of, or like the week before. I know it's really bad. PL, nice undercut. Yep. I still don't know if it's gonna make like a massive move, but it could. It's a good name to be in, for sure. Similar like to MP. Caleb, MP is rare earths. It is not within XME. It's a completely different industry. Completely different product. I said MP is not like really a part of XME. On MA, if we can get like 513, that'd be nice. Naz is going for yesterday's high. JPM extended from the 8. Wait, what do you mean? It's like right at it. It's like sitting at the 8. Like GS is like extended from the 8. Dude, this MA looks so bad, like in a good way. Imagine if the market wasn't fucking ripping. Yeah, I mean, your ideal entry on JPM would have been right when it uppercut, but I mean, it it was right here, right at 299, and we basically got short right here at 299.5, so missed it by like 50 cents. You know what I mean? Um, ooh, yeah. Yeah, the premiums are juicing a bit on MA now. Honestly, it's not even really the problem of like the MA options. I think it's honestly just the VIX getting crushed from where we bought it. What's Visa doing? Oh yeah, Visa's also nuking. If the whole group can kind of curl down, that'd be nice. JPN back near low of day. Target on MA is this low right here. 513 would be our first target. If we get low of day on XLF guys, these two are gonna start nuking. I'm at these two, MA and JPM. Look at the candle on JPM daily. Let's go MA. Give us a little bit more. TP on MA guys is 513. But I want you guys to understand why. Do you understand why it's 513? Yep, exactly. Low day 2 days ago. So when you buy an uppercut or undercut, we bought the uppercut right here. You have to target the day's low. If XLF could lose low of day, that'd be phenomenal. Probably won't on the first try though. Or wait. Yeah. All right, if we can get pop into like 514, okay, yeah, that's probably my first trim on MA. Yeah, I'm trimming MA here, guys. 7.5, not bad. Premiums kind of came back to life. Yeah, just took a trim here, 7.6. Nice little pop on the premiums. Uh, I'm trimming more than 25%, guys, because my strategy changes a little bit in these environments. I trim bigger on the first TP. Yeah, target on JPM would be 293. Should you sell? It's up to you. I mean, it's at support here. And if you got a late entry, I mean, this would be pretty late. So maybe see if you can take it off, break even, and then buy it back if it comes to our back up to our average. Any reason I don't look at the VWAP? it's just not as important to me in my system. I'm trimming about 35% of my position at first trim now. So bigger trims. And yeah, this is a permanent change within this market condition, correct? But when we return to a different normal environment, there's no reason to trim so aggressively. Because this environment doesn't give you follow through, right? So you kind of have to change your rules to adjust based on the environment, that is. I know. If we get a retest of 60, I'll actually buy MP. But I can't chase it here. Dude, Intel is such a strong name, man. Next target on MA would be 508. Yeah, so my trimming strategy is the exact same. The only difference is just a bigger trim on the first trim. So 35% usually on first trim. And then from there, it's like about 20% for the next three. Dude, banks look so bad. If we actually nuke on SPY, we're gonna be so paid. Guys, personally, I'm just kind of following like my plan here. So I don't want to get long anything until we come back down to the undercut retest. I could be wrong, but I think that's kind of like where the best risk reward is for the long side. RTX has some call buyers, and it has a nice little undercut of D8 here. So I'm gonna keep an eye on. How am I liking your broker? I can't say I honestly love it, but I don't hate it either. It's like fine. They're absolutely like feasting on me with comms though. I will say that. I've already paid. I've been trading on it maybe for a month now. And mind you, I took maybe 10 trades the last month. And I've paid already 5K in comms, bro. Like $5,000 a month just for using the platform. I switched off Webull because I don't wanna have a broker that's like a little sketchy as I scale up. I'm on Schwab. I'm gonna see if Interactive Brokers wants to give me a better rate for the fees, and I'll negotiate maybe something with them. Yeah, I negotiated it down, and it's still pretty bad. Moomu's also Chinese though. Guys, Webull is a Chinese company that only you only have FDIC insurance until $250,000. So if you have over 250K, if the company goes bankrupt, I mean, you might not lose all your money, but it'll be hard to get some of that money back. Robinhood's a great platform for investors. It's not good for traders. I'm on Schwab for my options port. That's probably where I messed up because that's where the fees are. The shares are like commissionless. My fees are 30 cents per option. All right, JPM, I allow you to crater. You can do it. I allow it. Damn, should we have tailed that EVGO? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I thought Fifi was a girl too when I first met him. Guys, we need to make something clear here. I need you guys to understand this, right? When we're looking to trade undercuts, okay? not every single day will be a good day to buy an undercut. The purpose of an undercut is you're buying near the lows when the market has momentum. You need the market to also be undercutting. You don't want to buy undercuts on just a straight up red day because you're just going to buy the bottom. Sorry, you're going to buy like the mid of the bottom and like hope that it's the bottom, but it might not be. If the market goes lower, the undercuts are not going to work. This day right here is perfect for undercuts, right? Or today, if the S&P takes out yesterday's low and then gets back through it, that's when you buy undercuts after a big move down, right? You don't want to buy undercuts on a like when we're so close to the high. So all these could work, like lunar could work, right? But it's not necessarily the best. This morning was good for uppercuts, yeah, but the market also didn't give that to us. It just kind of rejected the EMAs and went down, you know? But that's why I was looking at only short. Because you have to wait for the market to come back down to support to buy undercuts. You don't buy undercuts off the highs. Because think about it, right? Like think about the market as a range, right? Look at like Alcoa, all right? If you buy an Alcoa undercut at the high of the range, what's the target? It's here, right? Imagine if you buy it at the low of the range. You buy an undercut at the low of the range, you now have a 25% potential move. If you buy an undercut at the high of the range, what are you going to target? Like a 5-6% move? Which doesn't make sense, you know? So I just want to explain that for you guys so you can kind of understand. Yeah, bro, Dow is nice. Good stuff on that. LYB too. Very nice. About to be 18 tomorrow. Do you have any advice for investments or investment or bank account I should open? Like make a brokerage account and literally just do like recurring investments on your favorite companies. Maybe just buy like an index fund to start, like VOO. Just do like recurring buys. But good that you're trying to invest early. That's awesome. It's one of the most important things. Oh yeah, target for JPM is gonna be about 293. I don't love that it's trying to hold this low. Don't love that. But if you look at the hourly, 293 would be like the next kind of big level here. Things are kind of trying to hold a little bit here off the previous day's low though. Not fun cratering. I'm not even sure what is holding JPM up here. Like if you look at the lower time frames, there's like no support. Guys, when I was 18, I ran up like an insane bag on crypto and then I lost it all. Yeah, that was literally my Canon event. Dude, I don't even think you guys understand. Like, ever since that happened, I was like just numb to money at a young age because like you can't even describe like how something like that even feels. Oh, dude, I really wish we would have got the uppercut today on Spy Guys. I was so ready to like take a pretty big short on like 1DTs. Yeah, so okay, this is exactly why you buy undercuts when the market's undercutting, right? Because if you bought LYB at the low of the range, look at now how much money you could potentially make on it. Like it's moved 20%. That was the day to buy stuff. That's kind of what I've been trying to explain, right? Like you want to buy when you're near the lows on stuff and you want to short near the highs. Like basically invert everything that you've been thinking about the last few months. All right, guys, SPY's coming into yesterday's low. So because I don't want to get undercutted on my forehead on yesterday's low, I'm gonna look for like one kind of push down here on JPM to take profits into 294 for a first trim. Wait, how are you only up 13%? I'm up 30. All right, here's the trim, guys. 7.4. All right, guys. I moved my stop to break even on both MA and mass JPM. Just to manage the risk. Just keep in mind the spreads are pretty wide. So I'd put like a stop limit and not a stop market on MA. All right, guys. So yeah, the reason why I closed some JPM there is notice how SPY is coming into yesterday's low. So if SPY starts to undercut and kind of UNR, obviously the rest of the market will as well. So I think it's a good place to take some profits into. But if we close weak, like if we don't UNR on SPY, I think we come all the way down to this low. Kind of basically what I was saying yesterday. What I was saying today in the morning. But yeah, the reason why I think me personally is why I was shorting banks, guys, is notice how like the NAS is only down 0.7%. Look at the Dow, right? Banks are weak. The Dow is weak. Look at, XLF is super weak and it gave the uppercut. So it was just a nice move on that. Now, if the S&P starts to undercut, or if it UNRs and holds, then this would be actually a good time to maybe look at some UNRs on stuff. But I do think we might want to get just a little bit lower. Could be wrong though. How do you get into options? Definitely study a lot about them first. Paper trade for about a week or two so you can get the movement of them down. Ask any questions you might have, and then you obviously have to get approved for them. But don't rush into it, right? That's like the worst thing you could do. Slowly get into it, paper trade, things like that. Do I hold any ETFs? Yeah, on my long-term account, I hold ETFs and shares. My full list is here if you want to know exactly what I'm in. I'm pretty heavy into like crypto stocks right now at the moment. If the SPY undercuts now, is it still valid to get into undercuts? Yeah, so if it undercuts and reclaims, which it's doing, now you can look at UNRs. And it is kind of doing it. See if you can get maybe even a 15-minute pivot. Like this would be a perfect time to look for that. The great thing is even though SPY is kind of holding, notice how XLF is dumping, guys. So banks, financials. I found MA by using my sector watch list. So I looked under banks and credit card companies, and I found that MA was setting up this kind of bear flag. Visa was also nice. Would have been a nice one. Wait, you were in it before I bought it? Or didn't we get it? I thought we bought it at the same time. Oh yeah, we are the same time, bro. And it helps to have a friend call it out. Actually, you're the one that called out JPM. I am watching this, guys, on MP here. It is retesting the UNR level. If you miss that MP buy, this could be a nice spot. Yeah.